Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We see that the name of this slide is towards exploring few mathematical facts of Surah Al-Kawthar, the smallest surah of the Holy Qur'an. We are now in part 2. We know that Surah Al-Kawthar is the 108th surah of the Holy Quran, and it is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna a'atainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Let's move on the next slide. Here we see that table 1 shows the abjad values of the 28 alphabets of Arabian language. We know that these abjad values are used from the ancient time and these are established values. And for example, the abjad value of ba is 2, abjad value as noon is 50, abjad value of ghain is 1000. And we have the abjad values here for all the 28 alphabets in Arabic language. In the next slide, we see that for the first ayat, that means inna a'atainaka al-kawthar, here we actually put on all the harfs or alphabets of the first ayat here. Inna, alif, nun is the second one. Harf, alif is the first one. Again, a'ataina, this alif and this alif actually put on here. After that, ain comes, ain. So in this way, ra is the last harf. So all the Arabic alphabets of the first ayat of Surah Al-Kawthar are put here, and the respective abjad values are shown here. For example, if we concentrate on the harf kaf, that means kaf is he used in first ayat. The abjad value of kaf is 20. So 20 is actually put here. So in this way, all the numeric values are actually shown or put here. Now, if we just arrange these numbers in one row, we get this big number for first ayat. That means 150, after that 1 1. This is 150 1 1. After that 79 10 50, 79 10 50. After that 21 30 20, 21 30 20, and lastly 6 500 and 200. 6 500 and 200. So all the values actually put here, and this is the numeric serial of first ayat. Same case is applicable for the second ayat. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Fasalli, all the uh, alphabets of the second ayat are put on here, and the numeric value, that means abjad values, are put on the second column. For example, ra is the harf whose abjad value is actually 200, and these are actually extracted from the original table. And if we put these values in a row, we get this big number for the second ayat. Same process is just like first ayat, and for the third ayat we also get this number. That means if for inna shani'aka huwal abtar. For example, ha is a Arabic harf, and its abjad value is 5. And if we put these all the values in a row for third ayat, we get this big number. Now let's come to the result section. We know that Surah Al-Kawthar has only 3 ayats, and the value of the first ayat is this number, as we have seen in this slide. The value of the second ayat is this one. So the second ayat is actually, for second ayat it is put on here, and likewise the value of the third ayat is actually put here. So if we want to know that what is the divisibility of these ayats, we see that these are the prime numbers, which are the actually extracted from this big number. If that means if we multiply these numbers, we will get this big number. If we multiply these number, just calculation, normal calculation, we'll get this number. And if we multiply these numbers, these basic prime numbers, we will get this number. We see that one thing is very common from this calculation, and it is 3. That means all the numbers are actually divisible by 3, which is only denoting that positioning of each harf is made in such a way that any dislocation can cause mismatch in calculation. So you can say that it is very much identical and positioned in a very precise way. All the harfs in the surah is precised or positioned in a precise way. In the next slide, we see that from these three big numbers, from these three big numbers, another big number, another more big number can be extracted, and a very big, large number. This is the first ayat. This is actually the second ayat, and this is actually the third ayat. And if we see the uh, divisible numbers or the prime numbers of these big number, we get this result. That means if we multiply all of them, we will get this number. This big number is also divisible by 3. And of course, as mentioned, Surah Al-Kawthar is the eighth surah of the Quran Al-Karim, and this 108 is also divisible by 3. So again, in a word, it can be said that positioning of each harf is made in such a way that any dislocation can cause mismatch in calculation. So much similarity. Subhanallah. That's all. Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullah.